For your listening pleasure, listen at 2x speed or 1.75x speed, or if you just feel trippy, listen at normal speed. But that's on you.
And if you go to any video and press start, the video will start playing at regular speed here. But what you could do is press the 3 dots on the top of the page here. Press those 3 dots, and then you will see a playback speed. Press that, and the playback speed has a bunch of different options here. If I press play on the video, here what I want to do is over here, you see the settings option on the video. If you press that, you will have a speed option, and it's on normal. And if you change that to 2x, it will play the video in 2x.
Hey, what's up? Let's call this analysis reaction, just because there's no way he's gonna be playing Beethoven Moonlight Sonata and we not talk about it a bunch. I think I've seen a minute or 2 of this video. I'm pretty sure I have at some point, but whatever. Let's do it. Nice thumb position. It does feel a little bit faster, but I think that's a good thing. I think it holds the composition together better on something like a guitar where the notes die off. Good pinky vibrato too. So obviously he just jumped from the first movement to the third movement. The third movement's the shit. Yeah, we're just gonna talk through the whole damn thing. That's also third movement, and now he's added tremolo in there. Tremolo is the repeating 3 notes. That stuff. Bum 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 bum. I think now he slowed it down though. Those claps are awesome. Hell yeah. He's doing such a great job arranging it. There's so much stuff he has to leave out because of just how magnificent Beethoven is with both hands and that piece. Man, definitely go listen to the third movement of Moonlight Sonata. And if you see if you can find one of those videos where the music's on the screen and follow along. It's one of my favorite compositions of all time. The third movement of Moonlight Sonata, which is what he's playing on here. So many great melodies. And now it's back to movement 1. Okay, so I think already what's important to notice, or is important to me, whatever, you could leave, is the movements themselves are constructed in a certain manner, right? Movement 1 is slow. Movement 2 is very regal. There's so far there's nothing from movement 2 in this. And movement 3 is the presto, the super fast. Which, by the way, those are just arpeggios that are going up in 16th notes. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and but he's switched it up. He's using the movements as now he's made them shorter, and he's using them as contrast to each other. So the opening is slow, then he cuts to 3, which is fast, and he's cut back to 1, which is slow, and he's kind of using them as A-B sections for its own composition. Okay, I'll say my favorite thing about this, about the slow section, is he has, because the limitations of guitar, right? We only got 6 strings, so the maximum amount of notes we can have at any one time is 6. And then he's got to play the arpeggios, which is basically all arpeggios with like a melody on top. But the notes he's choosing to let ring, and on guitar you have to make those choices because you can't let them all ring. I think he's picking great notes to just let kind of sustain over the measure. And that's the opening of movement 3. So now we can really see the structure. He's used the opening of movement 1. Then when he cut to 3, he did the opening of 3. Then he cut back to movement 1. I don't think it was the opening. But then now he's cut back to the opening of movement 3. So we're seeing, so it's like, if you're gonna diagram it, I think it would be like A for movement 1, B for movement 3, A prime, because it's like A but a different part, back to B again. So A, B, A prime, B. Okay, obviously, I was supposed to say the beginning of that is nothing to do with Beethoven, but now he's bringing in this melody. Oh, let me hear it again. That's really interesting. That's really cool. It's I'm pretty sure it's like much faster. Da 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 da. Bugada 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 pop pop. So he slowed it down to give rooms for the claps. It's the same melody. I know you're probably pissed, but if you're pissed, just get out, just leave. Because I do love this piece of music. I love it. I attempted it on piano. I'm not that good of a pianist. But I'm very familiar with it. And so these melodies you're hearing in this third movement, what Beethoven does, which is fucking delicious. So please go listen to a great pianist. On YouTube, you can find someone and listen to it. Is this melody now he's brought back twice here? When Beethoven brings it back, he puts it in the left hand. He puts it in the bass register. So the first time it's up high, and the second is boom, 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 boom. It gets all low. And it's really interesting to hear how he changes it from the right hand to the left hand, because he still has all this cool arpeggiation going on in the middle, but he has to kind of move the arpeggiation because of where the melodies are. Obviously, on guitar, it makes sense that Marcin's gonna keep the melody in the top voice, but he puts it in the bass. It's just gonna be a nightmare, if not impossible. Okay, hold on. Hold on, 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 hold on. That's so we gotta. Right here, Beethoven takes off. He goes. It takes off with his right hand. It's that speed. Obviously, it's not the notes. And Martian knows that there's like a cadenza moment there. I don't know if it's a cadenza, like a full cadenza, like two measures of music. But he goes, well, I'm not gonna play that, but I need something that has the same fiery fervor there. And he's looks like he's gonna add a chromatic scale. Let's see what he does. So he detuned the low six, and if you you can watch his hand too. But if you listen, he detunes low. He hits the upper note, and then he twists the low string back to where it was. Back up. And he can use the sympathetic vibrations and the echo of the guitar itself to tune back to the other note to know he's in tune without having to restrike it. And as the listener, your attention's going to be drawn to the higher note. So there's a good chance you won't even hear him tuning the other note back up to where it was. But it was down and back up using the second note as a reference pitch. Yeah, until I see otherwise, I'm gonna assume that that's the best you can do with that song on an acoustic guitar. I've definitely seen electric guitarists cover it, but it doesn't have, it has precision. It has precision, and it's really true to the original composition when an electric guitarist do it as like a shredding. Well, shred. It's if you're gonna play an electric, it's just a super shred composition. Uh, Even more so than his. His is tasteful. He's moving between painting musical pictures using, you know, tempo, speeding up, slowing down, open strings, switching between parts of the compositions themselves to make something that is idiomatic to the guitar, which is a fancy word which means sounds native to. He's making the song sound like it could have been originally meant for the guitar. So he's leaving out all the sections that really wouldn't sound good in this environment, which makes a lot of sense. And again, unless you know this song inside and out, like it's something you. To me, I sing along with this song like it's like it's like a pop song. But unless that's how you live with this song, you wouldn't know really that a lot of parts were taken out. You definitely know movement two's not here. The second movement's not in this at all. But yeah, that's the best. It's definitely the best sounding version I've heard of all that together. Just taking the two movements he did, movement one and movement three. Movement one is too slow, typically on a guitar, to really capture that. I was gonna put an emotion in there, but I think it's more like a picture. Like to me, I think of the first movement as like a kind of cold, not freezing, but a kind of cold evening and a fog over the water. Is it sad? Is it a fantasy? Is it, what is it? It's not quite melancholy. It's not quite depressed. It's just this low key type of thing. And then movement three is just a fiery inferno of music. Movement 2. Movement 2 has this like boom, 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 boom. If you have not heard Movement 2, you'll be like, that can't be how it goes. That's really the rhythm of Movement 2. Boom, 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 boom. Like, how the hell does that fit with these other two movements? And so apparently he made the choice to be like, well, I don't think it fits that well, so I'm just gonna cut movement 2 entirely. I think it's really, it's, there's nothing to hate on. It's great execution, great choices. And he's got enough of the shred that you get the showmanship. And he left enough of the melodic portions for it to be melodic. And oftentimes, as a guitarist, you're choosing between. Guitar almost fell. You're choosing between melody and speed. Right? And the typical trash talk you'll hear guitarists say, and I'm one of those guitarists, I will talk shit, is usually when people play really fast, you go, oh, they play fast, but they have no soul. When you hear someone play slow, you're like, oh, that's beautiful, but can you play fast? And so he structured his arrangement of the composition to allow for showcasing all of that. And it doesn't feel like he's selling out, right? It doesn't feel like he's like, I'm gonna be fast just to be fast. He included enough fastness, enough speed for it to be a contrast to the other sections. And he left enough melody for it to actually be musical and not boring. Because once you start going, then it's like, it's just all, who cares? So he left enough. It's really just great. Great all the way around. Great sound, great performance, great arrangement, and great choices. I will say something that I have not looked into, but I'm still really interested to know is how he's getting those super low bass sounds. I mean, obviously, off the top of my head, I would assume it's because of the guitar pickup, and he's got the pickup running into some type of octave pedal. The question of how one gets a low sound. It's not crazy. The question is, how does he incorporate that bass sound into this guitar playing? That's the interesting part. Does he have it running through some type of EQ or some type of filter, which is like an EQ just for, but for certain bands? Because his low bass stuff shines, and so does his melody. And yeah, that's not playing the guitar, that's shaping the sound after you're already playing it. But also, I think, equally important, kind of like in a film, the people that choose the costumes, the costume designers or whatever, uh, and the lighting, right? You can have a great film, but if the costumes are out of whack, or they're terrible, or the lighting's bad, it's gonna have a negative effect on the movie itself. So his sound choices, other than playing the guitar, I think are just, I think it's the other half of the composition, which is how is he getting the sounds from the guitar to the amp to whatever mixing device he's using. Yeah, excellent. Excellent. And hey, shit on me if you want. I I still love the piano version. It's just speechless. Speechless. Great music is beyond the performer. I heard this somewhere, some version of this probably 15 years ago. But great music that's composed, that is actually great, the performer's chasing it, trying to approximate it, right? So Marcin is he is using all of his ability to bring out the greatness of what Beethoven already composed. Right? It's like Beethoven's here, and Martin's like, oh, how do I get up there with my guitar chops? Whereas a weak composition a great player will go, okay, this composition's weak. Let me lift the composition up. I think he's done a really good job of capturing the essence of the music. Yeah, whatever. I think I talked enough, right? 20 minutes? Isn't that enough talking? I'll shut up now until I hit record on the next video.